that the biggest problem that I see with most photographers when they're nervous is they go too fast. Their energy is just totally all over the place and it actually affects their performance. So my suggestion to you is relax, slow down, take your time, do less shots and do them better. That's my advice to you. And that'll relax you. Be prepared. Make sure the night before you've charged all your batteries, you've got all your cards formatted, you're all there, your assistant knows how you work, what lenses you need to work with, and so on and so forth. Prepare for success. Don't be reactive, be proactive. You know, otherwise just you're sabotaging yourself. You will actually condition bad behavior and that'll take you through the rest of your career. So my advice to you is, quite simply, is be here in 20 years. Plan for longevity, and there are no shortcuts to longevity. No shortcuts. Okay? There's my sermon.
Brandon has a question.
Brandon, best dressed, second best dressed in the audience right now.
My question is, you often pose people very elegantly and softly and beautifully, but some people are very stiff. And how do you get them to that point? Also, a lot of the movements done in photography aren't natural movements, but they still look very natural, like they actually happened. So
sure.
You know how to get them.
Okay, cool. So how to relax a couple, and you know we can pose them, but how do we make them not look so stiff if they are stiff automatically? Well, that's just it, guys. Posing is a mechanical exercise when you think about it, wouldn't you say? Bending the wrist of the bride, pointing the toe, bending the knee, shifting the weight back, turning the face, chin up a little bit. People hate posing, don't they? So first of all, let me talk about something. How do you convince a bride that she should be posed where she doesn't want to be? Because if we had a studio business name called I Pose People, we wouldn't have any business at all, would we? So my suggestion is this. As far as posing, I would say something like this to the bride. I would say, as beautiful as you are, I can make you shine brighter than ever before with a simple direction. Would you like that? Now, the way I said it and what I said, you can't deny it. If a bride says, no, make me look ugly, then I already am, thank you very much. She's going to say, well, no, I'm saying she shines bright. I'm saying you'll shine brighter with a simple direction. Take the word pose out of the equation. So once you understand how to pose someone, for example, I've said a couple of times in this sort of brief sort of online broadcast, point the toe towards the camera, bend the knee a little bit, shift the weight on the back hip, bring the shoulders back, lean the chest forward, turn the face to the outer actually shoulder and eyes back at the camera. That might be a standard full-length pose. Now, it's education. If you tell the bride even before she books you that this is the way you work, then she'll have no problem. If there is no education whatsoever, and then you get to the wedding day, and then all of a sudden, she's like, what's this? I thought your shots are natural. And then you might say, well, they all look natural, and I directed them, but I evoked the emotion which made it look natural, but in fact, most of them are posed. Then you've got a problem. Then you're playing catch-up. So you must educate them, this is the way you work. Now, I will say something like this. My style can be described as glamorous and natural. You want to look beautiful, don't you? And she will inevitably say yes. Then you say, well, you want to look natural as well, don't you? Say, absolutely. Well, just so you know, I want to bring out the best in you with directing you. I want to make you have a beautiful figure. I want, you know, I might even say, hey, the way you're sitting right now, if you had an off-the-shoulder wedding dress, your arm will be pressing up against your body, making your arm look thicker. And also, you're sinking your head in here. If I elongate your neck and turn your face, we stretch out that skin and we all look beautiful. So what I'm suggesting is you're gorgeous the way you are, but I want to make you shine brighter. So what I do is I'm telling more to photographers now. I won't be this deep with couples, but I will set my couples up in beautiful light, pick a complementary pose for that light location with that girl, with that dress, with that hair. So basically light first, put them in a location, pose them. I'm not evoking emotion yet. It's quite static at the moment. Then I get my exposure, my camera, my lens, my composition, and then I evoke the motion. So what I'm doing is I'm posing, constructing, let's call it a perfect pose. Then I deconstruct. Pose, deconstruct. See, if you pose it perfectly, it looks stuffy and it looks very manufactured. Do I do those kind of shots? Well, yes, I do posy shots and looking in the camera smiling like a stylized, fashionable image. Most of my shots, though, you look at it and you think, Jerry, you happen to get these great couples with great personalities and you shoot them in great lighting and you're there at the right place at the right time. Well, there's no luck. I put them in nice light. I put them in a complimentary location. I pose them in a flattering way. I got my great exposure. Then what I do is I evoke emotion. It could be playing a game. It could be just laughing, giggling. It could be anything. All those things. So in other words, I call perfection what you deliberately, an execution of your desired result. That's what I call perfection in photography. Okay? A perfect pose is an execution of my desired result. There's a perfect pose. Now, I make them laugh, and all of a sudden, for example, if I pose a bride, let me see if I can do this with the camera that I've got here. If I pose a bride with the hands on the hips and point the toe, bend the knee, and shift the weight back and do this, and it's perfect, but then she laughs and does this. This hand, maybe I want more on the side. This arm is pressing up against the body, but it's the break of perfection that makes a shot look real. Make sense? But if you start with nothing, I don't pose people, I'm a photojournalist, and that's fine, you can do that. I'm saying is you might find maybe more consistent results if you construct than deconstruct. The deconstruction actually makes the shot look real. So if you don't go for the good light and just you only go for expression, you may have missed the light, you may have missed the location. They're not posing. Hopefully the exposure is right, or maybe you're shooting an aperture priority and shooting loosely and you can fix it up afterwards in raw conversion. I believe there's a process. There's a system to your creativity. This number 5, expression, is the most important thing because that's the soul of the image. We often say emotion beats perfection. We said that yesterday. Emotion beats perfection. What beats that? Emotion and perfection. As in, achieving your desired result with emotion, rather than hoping they look good and they have great emotion. Make sense? Be proactive is what I'm saying. If the magic is there, capture it. If it's not, create it. Question, girl? Let me go.
So just curious, as far as timing goes, because we've sort of hit the...
Let's finish up with 1 or 2 more questions to finish up with something really cool to end off our presentation today.
Yeah. Let's see. We have so many questions that we haven't been able to get to. Let's see. How do you respond to a bride who is asking for something that wasn't originally agreed to? So Andrea Verdea said she is a bride who received some black and white photos and then after the fact said, no, I want all the black and white photos to be in color, but that wasn't agreed to or expected. Is there some way to maybe avoid that from happening?
Yeah, guys. So the question was, how do you avoid problems with brides? Let's say, for example, that when they ask for something and then you give it to them and then they basically, they don't want it or they wanted something different. Just know that most brides do not know what they want. I know that, and that's not meant to sound condescending, but quite simply, I remember one of the first weddings that I did not pose a single photograph. The bride said to me, Jerry, we booked you because you're completely photojournalistic and we just want a very organic style of photography. I said, well, my photography feels that way, but in fact, a lot of the shots were directed. No, Jerry, just don't pose a thing and just go for it. Guess what? I listened to them. I photographed the whole wedding without posing a single photograph, and they were extremely unhappy. In other words, they were sitting at a location or wherever like they normally do. What do you do every day of the week? Well, you sit down and you slouch and lighting's not great on you all the time and you're not in a pose, you're not in a flattering position. And what I'm getting at is that you want to be careful on really believing everything the bride and groom says. In other words, give yourself a backup plan. Perfect example with what the question was about black and white. And that was this, that you basically said, hey, you said that you'll do black and white and now they don't want it. Well, I would suggest, certainly if you're shooting in RAW and then you shoot black and white, of course the RAW gives you any way that you want to go, and the JPEG can be black and white, certainly give yourself an out. But make sure that whatever the bride and groom says, if there's no backup or if they want something definitive with no choice after the fact, I'd be careful to say and agree to that proposition. So in other words, give yourself that backup plan. and make sure that you cover every aspect, but just know that most couples do not know what to ask, nor what the struggles are. But be very clear and very honest, and even in writing with a signature against everything that you're against that might cause you some problems. And certainly having a business license and insurance and all those different things are really important to cover your ass. If in case it's negligent, maybe that you've done something wrong, maybe the cards have got stolen in the back of your car while you're drinking a Slurpee at 7-Eleven. I mean, I don't really know. Your place burnt down. Anything could happen. So make sure that you cover yourself. Educate your bride and groom as to all the implications of what they're asking for. And of course, educate yourself as to what you need to do under those circumstances. That's why I'm saying, guys, is that many of us actually operate our businesses prematurely when we're not ready. Guys, like I said, you don't want to be like a bright star and be all popular and it's all fun, and all of a sudden one bad wedding could mean the end of your career. Just one. Just plan for longevity, plan for success. Don't go out there and think that it's so easy that anyone can do it. This is easier. This is just like a selfie. No, it's not a selfie. This is an heirloom, a story, something that someone will run into a burning home and rescue a photo album before anything else. So take it very seriously. It's a big responsibility. So make sure that you have the proper training and understanding before you go out there and start this. Or if I'm making you think, oh my God, there's a lot more that I should know, then I would put the brakes on a little bit and reevaluate where you're at and learn some more things before you actually progress with your career. One more question, maybe before we do a wind up.
I actually wanted to share a comment that was made,
Sure.
which is really so true. Deja Webster made a great comment. She said, after hearing what you said and how you have to sort of juggle so many things, she said, sometimes it feels like taking photos on a wedding day is really only a small part of the day. Mm-hmm. The day includes counseling, wedding coordinator skills, working with family dynamics, changes in the wind, weather, and lighting, schedule changes, the list goes on. Sometimes by the end of the day, you might be at plan Z. Forget plans A, B, C, and D. Yep. Having all of these skills is so important, along with taking beautiful images.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, that's just it. You know, photography really has become a small part of a photographer's job description. I mean, even today, I remember when I started 24 years ago, I used to chop up negatives. I used to build the albums myself. I used to imprint the photographs myself. These days, we're spending so much time behind a computer. On a wedding day, like you basically just mentioned, we are everything. We are a counselor. We are, we have to be cool with the guys. We have to be cute with the girls. We've got to be, we've got to babysit the mother-in-laws and things like that. Sorry? Yeah, no problem at all. And all those things. So, guys, we just got to make sure that, like I said, we're prepared. We've got to understand there is so much more to photography than just taking pictures. It needs to be a professional service. What we've got to do, guys, is that many of us have started prematurely and we're giving the profession a bad name because we don't know what we're doing. I have no problem with new people coming in the industry. I really don't. I just want you to learn properly and experience the same joy that I've experienced in this industry and be here in 24 years teaching the next generation yourself. So just know that, yes, it's a high-pressure job and you have to wear many, many hats. But just take your time and just, like I said, learn from people that you respect and admire, and hopefully, like I said, you'll be here for a very, very long time. All right, maybe we reiterate a couple of things. I will come close to you, baby girl.
Yep.
Say goodbye, audience. One second. There we go. Bye-bye.
So I just want to say again, we are so sorry about all the glitches. Turns out there was an internet outage in our area, and so we are having to deal with that. But so we went to our plan B, have been broadcasting from Jerry's phone, and we really appreciate all of your patience with everything. We really, really do. But I just wanted a couple of things, some questions that came up. There were so many questions that we didn't get to. I wrote them all down. I had them queued up. So we will be doing this format quite frequently because we want to answer all of your questions. So don't fret if we didn't get to your questions. We will definitely do that soon. But if you really liked what you did see today and you really enjoyed listening to Jerry and talking about how he shoots a wedding and all those different tips, then if you'd like to do that more often, and not just when we're broadcasting live, then check out the Ice Society. The Ice Society is our online educational website, and it's now 10 years old. So we have been doing this for so long. There's so much content on there. Lots of stuff like this, lots of tips on posing, lighting, business, marketing, so much on there. So check out icesociety.com. A 1-year membership is only $149, and you have access to everything that's in the library, plus everything that we release in the next year. We're also, I had a couple questions come up about this, in the process of completely upgrading our website at the moment. So we are going to be rebranding the Ice Society as Jerry Ghionis Photography Training very soon. And there's going to be a lot of changes in the way the website is laid out to make it a lot easier for you to navigate. Better search features. It's going to be completely mobile friendly. We're so excited. We're doing the finishing touches on it now. We don't want to release it until it's perfect, but it is going to be so worth it. We're super excited about it. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you are an Ice Society member, or if you sign up today, just based on what we've been talking about today, don't worry. As soon as we move over to Jerry Ghionis Photography Training, everyone's going to be grandfathered in. So it'll be seamless from your perspective, and we'll just keep all that good information going. Just a reminder, I know we talked about it, the giveaway. This giveaway is so huge. We want to fly you and a friend out to us to spend 2 days with us as our guests. You'll stay in our home, have all of your meals taken care of. We really want to do this for someone special. So go to jerryandmelissa.com, enter the form, type all your details in the form there, and that's it. You'll be entered for the giveaway. So make sure you do that. We are so excited to be giving that away soon. Also, last thing, if you loved learning from Jerry like this, there's nothing like going to an entire workshop. We have 2 5-day workshops that are still available. 2 are already sold out, 2 that are available. One in Chicago that is going to be on October 9 to 13, and one in Dallas that's going to be on October 2 through 6. If you go to icesociety.com and click on workshops, you'll see those 2 workshops there. We have just a few spaces in both of those cities. Everything else is sold out. It is the most intensive 5 days you will ever have. And we always have photographers from different levels, so don't be intimidated. It's only 20 people, so we spend so much one-on-one time with you. Before I became Mrs. Ghionis, I actually went to a...
Why did you trivialize that with inverted commas?
I'm saying I don't want this to be biased. I'm saying before I fell in love with you, I went to a
She made up for it.
I went to a 5-day workshop, and I always tell everyone who goes to the workshop that it totally changed my business.
There was no hanky-panky.
No, there wasn't. It was long before we got together.
Yes.
So it changed my business. I was working a full-time job, wasn't charging nearly enough for my photography, for my wedding photography, and after going to the 5-day workshop, I was able to quit my job. I became so much more profitable. I can't say enough about it, just from a personal perspective. Now, here's the thing. These are the only 5-day workshops that we are going to be doing in the foreseeable future, and maybe forever. So if you've always wanted to come to a 5-day workshop, there is a chance that we will never do these again. So we only have 2 left in Dallas and Chicago in October. So if you've been thinking about going, this might be the time. We're looking to focus more on Jerry Ghionis Photography Training, get really interactive with our members. So there's nothing like this intensive 5-day course, so I would highly recommend it. So again, you guys, thank you so much for being so patient with us. The program that we were going to bring you today, we will bring you at another time when we are positive that everything is up and running. It is so worth it, but we'll just let you know when that's happening so you can be prepared for it.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.